This is a room dedicated to the poor. If you stay in the room for 50 days, you'll get 5 million. But there's no mobile phones and no fancy meals, only a big bed to sleep on. A couple came to join this challenge for 5 million. As the man pressed the red button on the wall, the challenge has begun. Thinking that in 50 days they'll be rich, the couple cheered excitedly around the room. Lying on the floor, they made a perfect plan for the future, because this $5 million for them, it's a fortune they can't spend. But the organizer's 5 million is not so easy to get after only one day here. This man cannot stand it, because the organizer gave them every meal is a kind of colorless and tasteless nutrient liquid, and only one bottle at a time. It's barely enough to fill the couple's stomachs. Looking at the 49 days left on the wall, at this point, the man was a bit broken. Luckily, his wife advised him not to think so much. After all, $5 million is a sum that no ordinary person can earn in a lifetime. The organizers will try to make you give up the challenge. In order to earn this $5 million, the wife made a 30-day fitness program for her husband, and she also meditated every day to kill the boredom. But the same thing was repeated every day. After 20 days or so, the man was clamoring to get out of the house. He said he didn't want the $5 million. His wife criticized him for his lack of stamina. After all, they've been at it for more than 20 days. How can they give up so easily? At this critical moment, the man suddenly thought of what the organizer said before the game. During the 50 days, they have 3 chances to buy something, but each time they need to spend 500,000 yuan. I thought the man would buy some good food to motivate himself, but instead, the man used 500,000 to buy a paintbrush. This man spent $500,000 on a paintbrush. His wife thinks he must be crazy. She even argues that he doesn't know how to save money. But she doesn't know that the man only bought the brush to kill his boredom, because they are participating in a challenge. If they stay in this closed room for 50 days, they will win $5 million. Although the man often draws on the wall after buying the brushes. Time flies, but soon the couple had problems with their relationship. Because of the long hours locked in the room, the two of them had gone from being close to having nothing to say to each other. In order to kill the boredom, the man pressed the payment button again. Unexpectedly, this time there was a beautiful woman with long legs. The man was shocked at the sight, because he had only ordered a bottle of beer. The beauty claimed that she was a surprise gift from the organizer. She could chat with them in the next 10 days to help them through this long period of time. Although the man tried his best to explain to his wife, he just ordered a beer, but his wife never believed him. She thinks his mind has changed for the worse. While the man was desperately trying to explain something, the lights in the room suddenly went out. So it's time for a break. But then a new problem arose. How can they sleep in a bed at night? The man suggested that he could sleep on the floor at night, but the beauty stopped him, because at night the humidity is very heavy. It's easy to catch a cold sleeping on the floor. After all, they still have 10 days to go before they can get out of here. If they catch a cold or fever, it's not easy to deal with. For the sake of her husband's life, the wife had no choice but to sleep in the middle to separate the two. So the 3 of them spent a long night. But the next day, the woman woke up with a start. She found that the beautiful woman beside her had disappeared, just when she thought the beauty had left the place. But she didn't realize that she had gone to the bathroom to take a shower. At first she didn't think much of it, but when she came out of the bathroom, she realized, outside, she found 2 people chatting about something. They were very happy. After seeing this scene, the woman didn't hesitate to use her last chance to buy something. She bought 3 sleeping pills. Then she took a bite into her mouth. Seeing that the beautiful woman also ate into her mouth, the man had no choice but to eat it too. When they woke up from their sleep, the beautiful woman disappeared again. The woman thought she must have gone to the bathroom again, but when she opened the bathroom, it was empty. After realizing that the beauty might have really left, the woman's heart began to secretly rejoice, because she finally got rid of this person. She thought the couple could stay in the room for the last few days, but it didn't take long. She was surprised to find that the beautiful woman had left a farewell message on the wall. It was clearly written that her husband had done something bad. Unbeknownst to her, it was a deliberate attempt by the beautiful woman to slander the man, but the woman didn't believe her husband's explanation. She pushed him against the wall. This woman saw someone leave a slanderous comment about her husband. Without saying a word, she pushed her husband against the wall, because she suspected her husband of doing something bad behind her back. Unexpectedly, the first thing her husband said when he woke up was that their relationship was now in trouble. He advised the woman to give up this challenge, because the organizer will not let them get 5 million so easily. Unexpectedly, the woman did not listen to what he said at this point, because they have already survived more than 30 days. If only they can survive for another 10 days, they will get the prize money. She wanted her husband to stick with her. After all, this 5 million, ordinary people can't earn it in a lifetime. Seeing that her husband still insisted on leaving, the wife hurriedly told her husband about a rule proposed by the organizers, that if one of the husband and wife leaves early, the organizer will reduce the 5 million to 1 million. The husband thinks that his wife has become hopeless. He wants to leave. Unexpectedly, just at this moment, the wife pulled out a pistol, threatened the husband to stay here. The husband did not feel scared, because compared to his own madness, to die at the hands of his wife also proved that his wife did not love him at all. As the man pressed the button, the woman did not shoot, but quietly watched her husband leave the room. After the husband left, The wife was devastated, but on second thought, $1 million is not a small sum of money. She decided to survive the last few days no matter what, but the reality is often more cruel than he thought. Without her husband's company, the woman spends her days here like a year. Gradually she became insane. Just 2 days before the end of the challenge, she made a bold decision. She walked slowly towards the door and pressed the button. Only then did the woman realize, compared to money, the most important thing is for a family to live happily together. At the end of the story, the woman returned to her husband. She decides to spend the rest of her life with her husband. This film tells us, people die for money. Birds die for food. In today's society, those who have money want to have more money. We must learn to be happy with what we have. Greed is the ultimate killer of happiness.